Welcome back, everyone. Time for us to go behind the headlines, and we're taking a look at the effect of the Department of Justice announcing just last month that Native American tribes, like the U.S. states, would be allowed to proceed with plans to cultivate, regulate, and sell marijuana on their tribal properties. This takes us to a story that I picked up off of Alabama.com, where the Porch Creek Indians, a Native American tribe that has land in Florida and Alabama, is using the threat of marijuana sales as leverage in their negotiations with state governments. This is quite fascinating to me. It's not the marijuana they're interested in so much as casino gambling. According to the story on Alabama.com, the Porch Creek Indians are offering an ultimatum to the state of Florida. Either allow them to set up tribal casinos in the state, or they will consider growing and selling marijuana on their tribal lands. Now, there's a similar situation going on in the state of Alabama. There's a lawsuit trying to shut down casinos that already exist in Alabama, and it's basically the same kind of threat: back off of the lawsuit or the Porch Creek Indians will start selling marijuana on their tribal lands in Alabama. Now, this is an interesting tactic because we know that there are Native American tribal lands all across this country, and not all of the states have been so sanguine on those tribes beginning their casino gaming. There's tons of Indian casinos in the Pacific Northwest, in California, and so forth. But in interior states and southern states, it's just not as common. It remains to be seen whether other native tribes will take up this tactic. But to me, the threat that they'll grow weed in order to get casinos, it makes you wonder if the states wouldn't just be better off letting them grow the weed. There's all sorts of studies to show the problems that gaming can introduce into a society. Marijuana, not so much. So maybe the states would be wise to just allow this to happen. But given the cannabiphobia that is exhibited by Southern legislators, I think probably they'll give on the casinos before they'll give on the Indian land, or the marijuana being grown on the native lands. But this is an interesting tactic that I think will show us opportunities for marijuana legalization all across this country. Now, there's a similar thing going on based on Indian gaming and casino gaming just in general going on in Ohio, where the Responsible Ohio group that has proposed a 10-grower oligopoly is basically taking a page out of the casino playbook. Ohio hadn't any casinos, and they made a casino amendment in 2009 that was funded by the casino gaming industry, one particular company, and it set in the Constitution 4 locations for casinos that just all happen to be run by that same company. They're taking a page out of that playbook, trying to make the same thing happen with marijuana in the state of Ohio. And as these native tribes continue to flex their muscle with respect to sovereignty over casino gaming and now over marijuana farming and commerce, it'll be interesting to see whether or not Native Americans make marijuana de facto legal in most of the United States. There are over 100 native tribes that have expressed some sort of interest in marijuana, whether it is recreational growing, medical growing, or just industrial hemp. And given that the native lands are spread all across this country, especially in red states and more conservative areas of the country, this could be the only way that we see legalized marijuana making its way into some of those places. Although there is the opportunity to pass it at the federal level, of course, Colorado Representative Jared Polis has introduced the Regulate Marijuana Like Alcohol Act at the federal level that would remove marijuana from the federal schedule and place it under the purview of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. That would be federal legalization, but with a Republican-controlled Congress, it's not likely that that bill is going to pass the House. Although these days, it might be hard to tell. Some of these legislators, as we've seen in Florida, are getting more supportive of marijuana issues as they realize finally that the voters are behind reforming marijuana laws. maybe Representative Polis's bill could be moved along by these native tribes threatening to legalize on their lands. And the feds at least might want to have some say in how it's done.